Hello and welcome to another video from me, Rough Swordsman Wargamer. It's an Open the Box, and this is a series I've had my eye on, and now I've got one in my collection. It is Holland 44. Operation Market Garden, September 1944. Game designed by Mark Simonitch and published by GMT Games in 2017. As I say, I've had my eye on this series for quite a while, and now we've started it off with Holland 44. So let's see what this is all about. Holland 44 is a two-player game depicting the Allies' combined ground and airborne attack in the Netherlands during World War II, which was codenamed Operation Market Garden. This daring plan to grab critical bridges across the Netherlands had the potential of opening up a clear road into Germany. However, remnants of several battered German divisions were in the area and were able to slow the ground offensive and almost totally destroy the British 1st Airborne Division. The Allied offensive was a failure. In this game, you have the opportunity to change history and study the campaign in detail. Did it have a chance of success? Could things have been done differently? You decide. Each turn represents approximately 8 hours. Most units are battalions, though there are many company-size German units depicted. The game uses the simple move, fight, supply game system developed in Normandy 44 and Ardennes 44. Important elements like supply, troop quality, tank quality, artillery support, and command and control are all reflected in the game. Special rules for airborne landings, airborne supply, bridge destruction and repair are also included. The game covers the first critical 7 days of the battle with a 20-turn campaign game and a 11-turn tournament scenario. There's also, I believe, a small scenario that was published in C3I magazine, which I'll have a delve into. But anyway, here's the map. It's a long map, so thank goodness I've got my new table. Examples of the counters there. So, game design, Mark Simonitch. Game developers, Mark Simonitch and Vincent, hope I get that right, Lefavreus. Art director, Roger B. McGowan. Map and counter art, Mark Simonitch. Usual crew of executive producers, production coordinator Tony Curtis, cover art. And apologies, Antonis Karidis. Package design, Roger B. McGowan. Units, battalions. Time, 3 days per turn, AM, PM and night. Players 2, map, 2 kilometres per hex. And in the box we're going to get one full-size map sheet, 22 by 34 inches, one map section, 17 by 22 inches, 2 sheets of counters, 2 identical player aid cards, 1 scenario card, 1 rules booklet, and 2 dice, 6-sided. On the game meter, the complexity is a medium at 6 out of 9, and the solitaire suitability is high at 7 out of 9. Right, let's get the shrink wrap off. The shrink wrap is off, so let's open the box. It is the 1.5 inch box, and it's not quite as sturdy as some of the newer boxes from GMT, but let's see what we get. A couple of D6s, some baggies, a thank you note, and what's this? Errata. So I think, what does it say? The following should be added to the scenario at start instructions for the 5 bridges. Start the game blown. Right. Okay. Here they are. The rules. Let's have a look at those. These come in at 40 pages. Yep, it's on squeaky shiny paper. So, full colour though. Introduction, contents, explanation of the units, counters, sequence of play, summary of unit types, that's handy. Weather. Bridges, demolition and repair. Stacking limits. Zocs and Zoc bonds. Yes, we've got the Zoc bonds in this series of games. Developed by Mark Simonitch. Movement. Yes, different types. Combat. Combat modifiers. Combat results. Selecting step losses. Quite a lot of helpful diagrams. Determined defense, yes. Retreats. Disruption and recovery. Advance after combat. Breakthrough combat. Artillery units. Supply. So usual sort of things that we get in our war games. Reinforcements and entry areas. Night turns and replacements. Breakdown units and merging units. So you can break down a larger unit and you can rebuild them as well. Airborne landings. Special rules. Traffic markers. Yes, there's traffic jams. I think, yeah, there's traffic jams which impede the movement of the Allied forces along Hell's Highway. Unknown units. How to win. Optional rules and the scenarios. With hints for players. Here's the campaign game and the short game. And as I said earlier, there's also a smaller scenario that occurs up the top end of the map. That was published in C3I magazine, so I'll be checking that out. And extended examples of play. Excellent. So that's all turn 1. Turn 2. There we are, and designer notes. Summary of important rules. Credits and the Allied reinforcement schedule. The German reinforcement schedule and an index with an expanded sequence of play on the back. Them's the rules. Couple of player aid cards. Combat results table with modifiers and explanation of the results. Some tables down here, bridge, demolition tables, air landing table, disengagement, and determined defense table. And the terrain effects chart on the other side with the notes and abbreviations. Isolation attrition table, exit EZOC cost, combat zone recovery table, and the weather table. Okay. Setup card for the German units and the Allied units. And some remnants and breakdown. Ah, I see, yep. Okay, single-sided, of course. 2 sheets of counters. Here's the first one, and they're on the thin white core. So there we go. Here's the Germans. There's the SS. These are Luftwaffe, aren't they? Allies. There we go. Nice. And the second sheet. Traffic markers. And track markers. Disrupted. Supplies. Blown bridges. Scattered. That's when the airborne come down, I believe. Full retreat. Repairing, is it? The engineers repairing the bridge. Control, I assume. Oh, here's the hidden markers. So these are the sort of things you get. There we are. And then there's the maps. So let's have a look at those. Here's the map. And there's one end, and up here there's the other. We'll have a close-up look in a minute. But I'm not sure if you can see that between the two maps there's quite a bit of overlap. So it's not as big as we think, but we'll have a look at that during the close-up. So here we are at the bottom of the map, and these are the entry points for the 12th, 30th and 8th Corps. And over here we've got some tracks. Here's the map key, and up here we've got the turn record track. We have the airborne replacement track, weather track, some holding boxes here, and right up the top we've got sequence of play and airborne reinforcements. Here we can see Eindhoven. Here we can see huge areas of marsh which will impede movement, and this stuff, polder, which is like reclaimed areas surrounded sometimes with dikes. Moving further up we can see, actually here's where the join for the two maps occurs, and as you can see it's quite a bit of overlap. So the map's overall length isn't that much bigger than a standard 22 by 34 inch map. And up here at the top of the map, here is Nijmegen and of course Arnhem. And lastly, up in the corner we have eliminated German units and Allied units, breakdown units and Allied remnant display. There we go, that's the map. So this has been an Open the Box, an unboxing of one of a very popular series of games by Mark Simonitch, Holland 44, published by GMT Games. I'm glad I've got one of the series. Been wanting this for a little while and saw this at a reasonable price, so I thought, why not? Well, I hope you enjoyed that and it was of interest. If you did, and it was, why not, if you haven't done so already, consider subscribing to the channel. It really does help. Also helping the channel is pushing the like button of the video, and if you want to be informed of other uploads the channel does, well then push the old bell. By all means, I encourage you to leave comments. I love to read them. What do you think of the game? It's a highly regarded series by Mark Simonitch. I'm looking forward to it. What do you think? Thanks as always to my subscribers. Thank you very much. Do appreciate it. And just before I go, if you want to support the channel a little bit further, well, now you can. You can buy the channel a coffee. And all those coffees do indeed go towards new content for the channel to upload. If you want to check that out, I'll leave a link in the description. And thank you. So, until next time, as always, you take care and goodbye.